What's this? Kotaku now have to write about video games and no longer about Orange Man Bad calling video gamers bigots or talk about their first world mental health problems? Oh, how the mighty have fallen. What's up everyone, this is Wilkes15 and let's dive into this stupidity. So you're wondering, how did this happen? Well, according to a previous editor, Jen Glenson, Jesus, her eyes. She looks like she's about to stab someone with a stiletto heel if she doesn't get her way. Who now resigned, has this to say, and I quote, "After careful consideration, I have concluded that the current management structure and decision-making process at G&O Media are not aligned with my values and goals." For Kotaku, Glenson wrote a letter of resignation which was addressed to G&O Media executives Jim Spanfeller and Lee Goldman. "I firmly believe that the decision to invert Kotaku's editorial strategy to deprioritize news in favor of guides is fundamentally misguided given the current infrastructure of the site. This decision, directly contradicted by months of traffic data, and shows an astonishing disregard for the livelihoods of the remaining writers and editors who work there." End quote. Translation: Daddy Jim Spanfeller said to them, "No more opinion pieces on how gamers, bigots, racists or extremists, or how problematic sexy female characters are to a core audience. We want 50 game guides a week, so get your controller, start playing and writing if you want to keep your job, or the machines will replace you." Yep, this is what made Jen quit, as after hearing she could no longer push her activism in the video gaming reporting company, and she had to do real work. This made her go over the edge and resign. Back to her wino box she goes, and as they say,
well, money talks and bullshit walks.
Either way, Kotaku is burning and the gamers are singing, as they never cater to their actual audience, only to attack them and moan the word chuds. They now tweet saying that Daddy Jim was doing all of this to pressure them and see what happens. Have you forgotten Jim is the one that's paying you and he can do whatever he wants to the company? Plus, he's not forcing you to do this. If you don't like the change, then you can leave. Just make sure the door doesn't hit you on the way out. If you look at the website, you can see the tab guides and no mention of Sweet Baby Inc. and the Cabrutus drama at all, or the weird wacky articles that they're known for. You have to find it on your own. Meet her wacky BFF, Alyssa McKenty, who was not happy about her having to resign because she refused to compromise her integrity. Seriously, what integrity? There's a reason why you get memed on by gamers and the real world itself. So how did Alyssa take this news? Well, in girl boss clown world, when all I know is attention whoring and activism and there's nothing else to do, well, might as well become a prostitute. Seriously, it's making the CEO's decision the Lord's work at this point. Oh, let's take this guy, Stephen Totilo, who used to work at Kotaku and can't tell the difference between a prank email and reality. Since this news broke, it's taken me some time to calm down and write something that was the journalistic perspective appropriate for the moment. Fuck G&O Media. Seriously, that's your comeback? Dude, you no longer work there and you resigned 3 years ago because you couldn't handle the heat from Gamergate 1 due to his lack of journalistic ethics that got Kotaku blacklisted in the first place. Anyway, back to the story. He found an email detailing on how GTA 4 helped a black woman to drive and become a strong, independent black woman. But instead of throwing the email immediately, knowing it was a prank from miles away, he couldn't miss out on a once-in-a-lifetime scam and went to write this hit piece to virtue signal how inclusive he was, making black voices heard. Do you think the editor-in-chief would have scolded at him for not knowing reality and wasting the company's time? Plot twist, he was the editor-in-chief at that time, and after 1 year later, disaster. That email was all a farce. And just like Jen, he's nothing more than a man-child, as he's forgotten the golden rule in video gaming. Video games are not real. Let's not forget, Caroline Petite took this lying down and praised Jim's decision, rather than to go into a full frenzy and resign like Jen. But don't worry, I'm sure the snowflake will cross the line eventually and start calling us gamers all the names under the sun. Again. Oh, too late. She couldn't keep her mouth shut and know her place in a free market. Yes, Carolyn, that's the whole point of business. You produce things that are popular with the customers and work for them in order to keep afloat, and not what you want. The world doesn't owe you jack. It's like owning a restaurant and your customers eat the food and they are not happy about it. Instead of working with them and finding out ways to improve it, building customer relations in between so they come back, instead they'll be the first to argue back, calling them racist or bigots, because they now feel they're just being attacked in their delusional, narcissistical minds. How dare those bigots say my chicken is cold and tasteless, and now they're attacking me with feedback and how I can prepare it right? X, someone help me. And then the restaurant is gone for good. Yep, this is what attention whoring on the internet does to people's brains. They can no longer process information or what's real anymore. But instead of analysing how things went wrong, they just keep gaslighting themselves even more. Why do you think Jim doesn't trust you anymore? But it doesn't matter. When it's all said and done, there are only 7 writers to do 200 game guides a month. If this was 10 years ago, for an actual journalist, that would be child's play. But in today's clown world, that's slavery. All we wanted was guides and reviews of video games and something to escape to. But no, the activism was too tempting to write in their articles. If you really want to know why Daddy Jim want to make the change now, it's because they don't want to be sued for defamation and slander. They don't want to become the next MAGA hack lawsuit or 9-year-old Kansas City Chiefs suing Deadspin, claiming a child was wearing a Native American headdress and wearing war paint is apparently racism. Just for context with the mega hat situation, Nick Sandman, the Make American Great Again 16-year-old at the time from Kentucky, he and his classmates went to a anti-abortion rally and stood singing school chants. Then all it took was a smile at a Native American activist, Nathan Phillips. He and his classmates were accused of engaging in racist conduct against the Native American. After the defamation and the damage being done, he was seeking $275 million from CNN, but they reached a settlement. I'm guessing it's still in the millions, as he's still suing other publications right now. But even the Washington Post wasn't safe, as they settled as well. So yeah, the CEO didn't want his company to play those dangerous, never-ending games. As gamers, we can celebrate this small win, but there are still many of them, like Polygon and IGN, who hates us and think gamers owe them the world. But it's only a matter of time of who will be the next one to fall. But as I was about to hit the export button yesterday, I hear that Alyssa is now on a mission. She wants to collect the bounty of popular YouTubers, and her first hunt is Melanie Mac, the Christian YouTuber with common sense and an uplifting personality. Because in Alyssa's degenerate mind, how dare she be successful than I am, as she follows her religion to the letter and being a good moral person, while reading her Bible in between. But we can tell immediately what narrative she's trying to pull out of her ass, and even Melanie herself called it. Oh Alyssa. Oh, poor attention whoring Alyssa. You know your days are numbered and you are desperate. So you go for the instant gratification route, hoping that your cancelling campaign will destroy the competition, literally, while dreaming that someone will hire you. Not realising you're causing the Streisand effect and giving more attraction to YouTubers, while looking like a complete dumbass in between. That, my friends, is what's going to happen. And as they say, if you fly too close to the sun, thinking you're untouchable, well, think again.
Take it like a fucking man. You're out. You're fucked. You tried to kill me, but you failed, and you're dead. Now, fuck off!
But what do you think? Did I miss anything out? Comment down below and let me know. And if you haven't subscribed, get right on it so you don't miss out on any updates. This is Wilksy15, signing out.
Now there's someone who could have used a good mother.